Okay, couple of things on this assignment. First off, as was just asked, when is this due? It is due Friday. Why is it due Friday? Because this week you won't have a quiz on Friday. Okay, we're working on this today. We're not in school tomorrow, and I'm starting projectile motion on Wednesday. I will not have taught enough projectile motion between Wednesday and Friday to, well, fairly give you a quiz on it, so I'm not going to. Okay, but since now you don't have a quiz to study for this week, this can be due on Friday. Okay, so this will be your work for the week. If you work well on this in class, you should get most of it done. Okay, there's nothing on here you haven't done before, lots and lots of times already. Okay, all right. So if we don't have a quiz this week, we may have one next week. Ish, don't know. We have to see what happens next week, because we don't know yet. Okay, if we're here, then we'll have a quiz and the unit exam, and that'll all be fine. And if not, then we'll figure it out. Okay.
Do you think it'll be there?
I don't know. Okay, so for these, just maybe write down a couple little notes here. I'm just gonna give you some tips and hints for each one here. Okay, the tip for number one is this. Don't overthink number one. Okay, the two vectors in number one point the same direction. Okay, still draw a tail to head diagram, but these go the same direction. Okay, this is more of a significant digit kind of a question than it really is a vector question, because if they go the same direction, they're pretty easy to put together. Okay, so don't overthink that one. Okay, it's only out of 3 marks. If it's only out of 3 marks, it's like the diagram and calculation and an answer. Okay, there's not much to do there. Okay, for number two throws people off because of the context. Everything we've done so far, except for maybe boat questions, it's been this thing happens and then this thing happens. Okay? So it's, you know, they're happening in a chronological order. In a boat question, you're going across and downstream at the same time. Here, these two things are happening at the same time, but they're vectors. And we still draw vectors in what way? Tail to head. Keep that in mind, because what a lot of people will do is they'll picture this box, right? So they got a box and it's got 2 ropes pulling on it, and they'll draw it like this. Now, how do you find the resultant of those 2 vectors if you put them tail to tail? Okay, for this one, my hint would be this. If you have 2 forces acting on a box, and they're in different directions, okay? So let's say the box is being pushed north and west, or whatever it is in this question, okay? I'm gonna push this chair north and west. Which way did it go? Kind of the way they would point if I drew them right. Tail to head. So draw them tail to head, okay? That may be what you envision, because that's what the question describes, ropes pulling on a box. It would act kind of from the middle, but it's still going to go like I pushed it one and then the other. Okay? Because that's going to lead into next unit. We do a lot of problems where force is a vector quantity and there's multiple forces pushing on something. Okay? All right. So it doesn't matter that the units are force. Force is a vector quantity. All vector quantities are added in the same way. Okay, number 3. So fairly simple question there. You've got, you know, a boat that goes a certain displacement and then turns and goes a different displacement. Just put them together, do vector addition. Okay, don't overthink that one. That's, you know, basically an exam level question, one that's flat and one that's angled. Okay, don't overthink it. For number 4, all you're doing in number 4 is finding x and y for this vector. Okay, you're being given a vector and you're being asked to find x and y. Find its horizontal and vertical components. That's all. Okay, I'm giving you a mark for a diagram, a mark for the 2 calculations, okay, and then a mark for your answer. Okay, so find the x and y components of it. That's it. Okay, don't overthink that one. There's only one vector there. Okay. Same with number 5. Here's the thing though. Look at what directions you are given in 4 and 5. In number 5, it says it's 28 degrees, or sorry, number 4, 28 degrees above the negative side of the x-axis. So that means, think about math a little bit. In math, this is the positive x-axis, this is the negative x-axis. This is the positive y, where things would go if they were above, okay? And this would be the negative y-axis, where things would go if they were below. Right? So think about that when you're drawing that one, but then also think about what your vectors are. When you're giving me the x and the y components, you should not give me compass directions for number 4. I'm not giving you compass directions, you shouldn't give me compass directions. Okay? Use the directions that would be on this XY grid. Okay? And then in number 5, I do give you compass directions. Go back to doing compass directions for number 5. Okay? And you're just finding x and y for number 5. Okay, number 6, we've done a ton like that. Again, it's pretty much a exam level vector question, one that's flat, one that's not. Okay, do your calculation there. 7 isn't hard, but it's more work because there's actually 3 vectors. Okay, but 2 of them aren't angled, so don't overthink it. Okay, there's just 3 vectors, just do what you always do, tail to head. Okay, for number 8, you've got 2 angled vectors there. Okay, you had a question exactly the same level of difficulty as this one on your quiz that we went over this morning. You know how to do these. Okay, not going to tax you too much, it's just tedious. 9 and 10 are your boat questions. Okay, so read them carefully so you know what kind of boat question they are, and just set them up like boat questions get set up. Okay, do your calculations, show your work. Okay, show all of your work for all of these because your work is worth marks. Okay, so 9 and 10, like I said, they're boat questions. Okay. All right, questions from you guys?
Is there a study guide on the Google Classroom for the unit test?
No,
No.
not yet.
Okay.
Yeah. If put one up on, I will put one up maybe on Friday.
Okay.
We'll know what's happening better by the end of the week.
Yeah.
We can kind of start making decisions. Yeah.